The Weekend, a Nigerian horror movie recap. The video opens with a suspenseful, dark ambient track and clips of the movie's most intense, non-spoilery moments. The car driving through the woods, the family's forced smiles, a quick flash of the trophy box. What if meeting your future in-laws turned into your worst nightmare? What if the perfect fiancé you thought you knew was hiding a secret so dark it could not only end your relationship, but end your life? Today, we're diving deep into the chilling Nollywood psychological thriller, The Weekend, a film that takes the awkward family dinner and turns it into a gruesome fight for survival. So grab your popcorn and maybe a crucifix, because this is one family reunion you'll be glad you weren't invited to. Intro music fades into a more narrative-focused background score. We meet our happy couple, Luke and Nikiya. They are deeply in love, engaged, and planning their future. But there's one giant, ominous red flag. Luke has completely cut himself off from his family. He hasn't been home in 15 years, and he refuses to talk about them. The movie opens with a tense phone call between Luke and his mother. She's begging him to come home for their wedding anniversary, calling him Leo, a name he clearly despises. "My name is not Leo," he pleads. But his mother ignores him, lamenting the 15 years he's been gone. This isn't just a case of a son being distant. You can feel a raw, primal fear in Luke's voice. For Nikiya, an orphan who craves a large family, this is a deal-breaker. She gives him an ultimatum. "How can we get married without me meeting your people? I want a real family." Luke's response is chilling. Family doesn't matter. He tries to explain that some people are better left unknown, but Nikiya doesn't back down. Faced with losing her, Luke finally caves. They will go to his family home for one weekend. Just one weekend. What could possibly go wrong? Transition to footage of the car journey. The journey itself feels like a descent into madness. They drive deep into a remote village called Kwasa, where the cell signal vanishes and the woods close in around them. The atmosphere is thick with dread. Suddenly, their car is stopped by a group of menacing men wielding machetes, claiming to be conducting a routine security check. They're looking for a kidnapper, they say, but their eyes are predatory. This is our first major clue that something is terribly wrong. The leader is aggressive, ready for violence. But then, Luke does something strange. He whispers something to the man, and instantly their entire demeanor changes. The aggression vanishes, replaced by a fearful respect. They apologize and let them pass. Nikiya is shaken, but also intrigued. "What did you say to them?" Luke's simple answer only deepens the mystery. "They realized who my family is." Who is this family that commands such fear? When they arrive, the tension is momentarily broken by the sight of Luke's parents, Chief Meki and Omicha, who greet them with massive, almost theatrical smiles. They're overly welcoming, fawning over Nikiya and pulling her into hugs. But it feels off. It's too much, too loud, a performance designed to cover up something. And they keep calling him Leo, the name he hates, a constant reminder that they see him not as the man he is, but the person he tried to escape. Transition to scenes from the family dinner. The happy family facade begins to crack almost immediately with the arrival of Luke's sister, Kama, and her boyfriend, a loud-mouthed, arrogant man named Zato. Zato is, to put it mildly, human garbage. He walks around calling himself a man of substance, speaks in cliches about his masculinity, and treats everyone, especially women, with utter contempt. And then Luke notices it. A dark, ugly bruise under his sister's eye, poorly hidden by makeup. He pulls her aside, demanding to know if Zato hit her. Kama denies it with the oldest, flimsiest excuse in the book. "It's nothing. I slipped on a banana peel and fell." But the most horrifying part isn't the lie. It's the reaction of the parents. They see the bruise. They see Zato's abusive behavior. and they do absolutely nothing. In fact, they treat Zato like an honored guest. Nikiya, the outsider, is the only one who seems to recognize the evil in front of her. She tries to talk to Luke's mother about it, but is met with a cold, dismissive warning. "This is our family. All is well as it is. Don't rock the boat." The boat, it turns out, is a vessel of pure horror, and Nikiya is about to be thrown into the deep end. Suspenseful music swells. The family throws a huge party for the anniversary, and the entire village seems to be there. The air is filled with laughter, music, and the smell of roasting meat. A lot of meat. This is where Zato's arrogance finally seals his fate. He continues to disrespect Kama, mistreat Nikiya, and generally act like he owns the place. Later that night, after the party, Chief Meki invites Zato for a drink. He leads him to a soundproofed, tiled room out back, a room that looks suspiciously like a butcher shop. He starts talking in strange metaphors about hunting, about how the lioness is the real predator, and about his grandfather's favorite saying, "Scared meat is sweet meat." Zato, too arrogant to see the danger, just laughs along. That is, until the rest of the family enters, their smiles gone, replaced by something cold and hungry. The next morning, Zato is gone. Nikiya, unable to shake her unease, finds herself drawn to a beautifully carved wooden box in the living room. Her future sister-in-law, Kama, warns her away from it. No one touches Daddy's box. But curiosity gets the best of her. When no one is looking, she opens it. Inside are trophies, mementos of past hunts. And there, in a plastic baggie, are Zato's signature cowboy boots, with a handwritten label that reads, "Man of Substance." Music cuts dramatically, a moment of silence. The blood drains from her face. The weird meat she's been eating since she arrived, the family's lack of empathy, the butcher's room, it all clicks into place in one soul-shattering moment. She confronts Luke, who finally breaks down, the trauma of 15 years pouring out of him. He confesses the family's secret. They are cannibals. Every year during the New Yam Festival, they hunt and eat people as part of a dark tradition. The reason he ran away as a child was because he was forced to participate, an event that scarred him so deeply he swore off meat forever and abandoned his family. He had no idea their anniversary would fall on the same weekend as the festival this year. The men on the road, the family brand on their backs, the entire village, they are all part of it. Nikiya realizes with dawning horror that she has been eating human flesh. The man they were stopped for on the road wasn't a kidnapper, he was the intended sacrifice. And now she and Luke are trapped. Action-packed, fast-paced music begins. Their escape plan is a desperate one, but the family is one step ahead. They know that Nikiya knows. Omicha, the mother, reveals her true face. A cold, calculating matriarch willing to do anything to protect her family's secret and keep her son. She and Kama capture Nikiya, tying her to a chair in the kitchen. Omicha tries to force-feed her a piece of meat. "You need to be one of ours," she hisses. This isn't just about food. It's an initiation, a blood-in, blood-out ritual. If she eats, she becomes part of the family, forever bound to their secret. If she refuses, she becomes the next meal. Meanwhile, Luke is being held by his father, who is trying to force him to embrace his heritage. The tense standoff is interrupted when the local carpenter, Ben, who had tried to warn Nikiya earlier, creates a distraction, allowing her to break free. She could run, save herself, but she refuses to leave Luke. What follows is a brutal, chaotic fight for survival. Nikiya grabs a rifle and, in a desperate act to save Luke from his father, shoots and kills Chief Meki. Enraged and heartbroken, the mother, Omicha, attacks Nikiya. Luke intervenes, and in the struggle, the gun goes off again. He has accidentally killed his own mother. Music becomes somber and tragic. The silence that follows is deafening. Luke is broken. He looks at his hands covered in the blood of his parents. He looks at Nikiya, the woman he loves, who he dragged into this hell. I'm a murderer. I'm a cannibal. I can still taste the meat. Nikiya reveals one last desperate secret. I'm pregnant, Luke. I'm carrying your child. For a moment, there's a flicker of hope. Their own family, the one they always wanted, away from all this madness. But for Luke, the damage is too deep. The monster he ran from has become a part of him. He knows he can never truly be free. I have to keep you safe, he tells her before turning the gun on himself. Final haunting scene footage. Host appears on screen. The Weekend is a masterclass in tension and a terrifying exploration of family trauma and the darkness that can hide behind a perfect smile. It reminds us that sometimes the most terrifying monsters are the ones we share blood with.